A 16-year-old girl is raped and strangled in her own home, in her own bed. One floor below, her parents and sister are sleeping, and nobody hears a thing. The house does not have great sound insulation, but the loud hum of the air conditioner downstairs drowns out everything. And the hardest part, the killer turns out to be her relative. Her cousin. For 31 years, nobody suspected him. After the murder, he lived another 17 years without ever facing justice. Something feels deeply wrong here, does it not? I am going to tell you this slowly, with all the details. Listen all the way to the end, because the biggest shock comes there. This is the story of Fawn Cox. It happened in the summer of 1989, in Kansas City, Missouri. Fawn Cox was a simple, quiet girl. She was born on March 24, 1973. She passed away at the age of 16. Her family lived modestly, in a small two-story house in one of the poorer neighborhoods of Kansas City. She had her parents and two younger sisters. Because Fawn was the oldest, she helped with household chores and looked after her younger sisters. She regularly attended church. She enjoyed swimming. In the summer, she worked at a big amusement park called Worlds of Fun. She sold tickets and maintained order. She wanted to bring money home for her family. She stood on her feet for hours every day, working in the heat. It was a simple life. She probably had dreams, maybe finishing school and going to college. But everything was cut short. Why is this story important? Because home is supposed to be the safest place. Your child should be safe sleeping in their own room. But here, the danger came from inside the house. From the closest people. Now let us come to the last time she was seen alive. July 26, 1989, a Wednesday. A hot summer. The weather was so hot that there was no air conditioner on the second floor, windows left open. Fawn finishes work at the park around 10 or 11 in the evening. Her mother and younger sister pick her up by car, because public transport would have been too long. When she gets home, she is tired and goes straight to bed. Work again tomorrow. She sleeps alone in her room on the second floor. Usually her sisters would be with her, but that night one sister, Amber, was babysitting at another family, and the other had a cold and slept on the first floor. It was cooler downstairs with the air conditioner. Parents downstairs too. The last conversation was probably with her mother when arriving home. She probably said, "Good night." Nobody suspected anything. A normal evening. After 11 at night, she gets home. Changes clothes, gets into bed. Midnight. The family is asleep. Only their poodle barks restlessly a few times, but they think it is because she is pregnant and do not pay attention. In the morning, around 9 o'clock, the alarm clock in Fawn's room starts ringing. The girl does not turn it off. That is strange. Her mother and younger sister go upstairs. They open the door and, a terrifying sight. Fawn is lying in bed, dead. Red marks on her neck, signs of strangulation. Signs of sexual assault. She died several hours earlier. Her mother screams, calls emergency services. They come, but there is nothing they can do. What was supposed to happen? Fawn was supposed to get up and go to work. A normal morning. But everything changed. In one night. Police arrive right away. Medical examination, cause of death is strangulation, sexual assault occurred. Entry point is the back window on the second floor. An old trailer is parked next to the house, from there it is easy to climb onto the porch roof and reach the window. The window was left open because of the heat. Initial suspects are 3 teenagers from the neighborhood. They are arrested because they knew the house, charged with burglary and murder. But one witness retracts their statement. The DNA test is inconclusive. It is 1989, technology is just starting, no databases. Charges are dropped. The case goes cold. The 1990s pass, the 2000s pass. The family waits. Sister Amber writes on forums, provides information, says the killer knew the family's routine very well. The family raises money, wants to pay for expensive DNA tests themselves, but police refuse, no budget, they say. Many delays. But in the early 2000s the case is reopened as DNA databases improve. Still no result. At the crime scene, semen traces on the bed, a few small blood spots, short hairs. Burglary signs, 2 radios, a Nintendo game console, a stereo tape player stolen. Some are lying below the window, as if thrown out. An old military cap found in the room, the family says it is nobody's they know. Contradictions, the killer walked through the dark backyard, found exactly the window, entered and left without noise. Seems like someone who knew the house very well. But the family heard nothing, the air conditioner hum. Nobody thought it could be from inside the family back then. Evidence preserved, sitting in the lab. Let us move to statistics. In the 1980s and 1990s, crime levels in the United States were high. Violent crime rate, over 700 per 100,000 people. Home invasions were common. 30 to 40% of sexual assaults came from someone known or a relative. Familial homicide is rare, but it happened, especially among teenagers. Many similar cases, for example, the Golden State Killer did home invasion rapes and murders for years, caught in 2018 with DNA. Or other cold cases, killers turning out to be relatives, solved with genetic genealogy. Common pattern, the perpetrator knows the house layout, works silently, leaves burglary traces to mislead. Let me state the theories carefully, without confusing with facts. First option, strangers broke in for burglary. Fawn woke unexpectedly, so they killed her. Possible, because burglary traces and window entry. But doubtful, how did they find exactly that window in the dark? Why not take other valuables? Second option, someone familiar with the house, a known person or relative. Possible, because no noise, done quickly. Doubtful, at the time nobody in the family suspected anyone close. Third, the initial 3 teenagers involved in burglary but not murder. They might have known the house through someone. But DNA did not match. There are still unanswered questions that make you think. Why was Donald never an immediate suspect? How close was he to the family? Why were burglary traces left, to make it look like strangers? Why did police not find funding faster for DNA and make the family wait years? Was there suspicion inside the family that nobody spoke? Why were Amber's forum words not taken more seriously? And finally, 2020, breakthrough through genetic genealogy databases. The DNA from the semen at the crime scene matches Fawn's cousin, Donald Cox Jr. He was 21 in 1989. Struggled with drug addiction, died of overdose in 2006. But his DNA was preserved from another case. The family is in shock. A relative. But also relief, an answer finally found. Donald lived 17 years without punishment. Case closed, because he is dead. This story shows the power of DNA. But it breaks trust. Danger can come from the closest people. Is home safety really there? Or do we need to be careful even from those we trust most? Let that thought linger inside. Think about it quietly. Until the next story, take care.